Hi folks, my name is Rick Searing. I'm a solution architect with Tempered. Today I'd like to give you a quick demo of our Airwall solution. Airwall is a zero-trust software-defined perimeter for your network. Now there's a lot of companies using those same terms in the industry, so let me tell you a little bit more about what we're doing. We allow you to establish this new zero-trust place in your network, could be deep in your network, to protect things that require more security than the typical laptop. So for example, a robot on a factory floor, or an infusion pump in a hospital, or some type of SCADA device that's managing your water system. These are all things that we're in the business of protecting, and let me tell you about the components in our solution that allow us to perform this protection. So first of all, we have gateways. We just call them airwalls, but they're really where we establish that perimeter in the network. We also have agents and server for when you want to connect into those protected devices. We have a relay. Relay allows non-routable networks to connect to each other. This is where Tempered's kind of a networking company even as much as it is a security company, because we can allow anything to connect to anything worldwide with our relay, all through encrypted tunnels. And then finally we have the Airwall conductor. The conductor is the orchestration engine. It provides policy to all of the devices and allows you to easily manage policy in your environment. So we pretty much have an Airwall that can go anywhere. It could be a small gateway that you need to put in front of the protected devices that I mentioned. These could be OT devices. These could be sensors that somebody's trying to deploy in your building. Our software runs in hypervisors, public cloud environments, or in agents and servers. A simple example that I'll go through in the demo is, if you look on the left, we've got device A, we've got a sensor. You need to connect it to your network at some particular location, and it needs to generate some analytical data that it needs to send to a collector. Let's call it server B over on the right. Today you would connect these to your existing network, and then you'd try to figure out how to secure it, and it would get very complex. You'd have VLANs and ACLs, and you'd have to figure out remote access. So I'm going to show you how Tempered solves this problem with Airwall. We're simply going to allow you to go in and establish a new perimeter in your network right in front of that device. So now we're protecting your internal network from that device, and we're going to allow you to send data from device A to server B through an encrypted tunnel. So let's jump into a demo and I'll show you how it's done. So this is the Airwall conductor, and you're looking at the dashboard, and like I said, it's an orchestration engine that allows you to manage your entire environment. So you can look at all of your airwalls, you can look at who's connecting, when they're connecting, who can connect to what, all within one system. It distributes keys for building host identity protocol tunnels. So let's look at our simple example again. We've got an airwall that's being managed by the conductor. It's got a set of ports. A typical airwall has one port that's connected to your existing network. Everything coming out of that port is going to be encrypted with host identity protocol, completely secure. And then you've got your protected devices that can be segmented into logical groups. Like, for example, here I've got a sensor network on the 1001 network, and I've got another set of devices, maybe my cameras on another network. Once you establish the networking parameters of your airwall, you actually define the devices that are behind this airwall. So in our simple example, we've got device A, which is a sensor that has this IP address. And then over on Airwall 2, I've added the collector, we called it server B, off of another airwall. So if I want these two things to talk to each other, again, I've connected them to an airwall. They can't talk to anything yet, it's zero trust. So I'm going to click on this sensor data collection network, and I've added a couple of devices. We could simply add another device here by typing the name of that device. So if we say server A, I can click on that device and I can add it to this group of devices that we want to give connectivity to as well. At this point, we just have a set of devices that have some relationship. So a couple of, a device A and a couple of collectors. Now if I want device A to be able to send data to server B, all I have to do in the conductor is select device A and click trust for device B. At this point, the conductor is pushing policy down to these two airwalls and establishing an encrypted tunnel across the network, as long as those airwalls have reachability to each other. If they don't, that's where the relay comes in and allows them to route to each other, even if they don't have network reachability. So now you can simply see device A now has connectivity to server B. Let's say we've got a remote engineer that also needs to access device A and perform an update or look at maintenance activity on that device. Same thing, I can now go into the engineer's agent that's running on their laptop and just say, oh, I want them to be able to connect to device A. Now they can connect from their laptop into that device. We show it simply here, and this could be a group of engineers, not just one engineer. And now they would be able to reach device A. This has been a simple example of connecting, a couple of devices, device A to server B. We can also do this at scale. So for example, if I go into another network I've built, I've got a group of engineers maybe spread across 25 different locations. And if I want to give them connectivity to, let's say, an industrial control system network across 183 buildings, it's the same amount of effort. If I just click trust, I've just given them connectivity to those 183 buildings, as long as we've established that Airwall gateway in those buildings that are protecting that industrial control system. So that's how it gets done at scale, where we really try to simplify how you can build networks with Tempered's Airwall solution.